illness for about 10 years, and about 2 years ago I became quite poorly. It started off quite mild. I started to lose weight and I feel unwell. I kept going back to the doctors. They at first didn't take too much notice. Then they started, as the weight started to go, they started to send me for tests. As time was going on, I was getting frustrated and scared. I started to argue with my daughter, who I worked with, which we never argued. We never have. And I started to get really quite uncomfortable between the two of us, being we were working together, mum and daughter, and it started to become, my whole life was being affected by this illness that nobody seemed to know.
It's made you quite depressed, I think.
Yes, I was very depressed. I used to cry a lot. I didn't really want to face my customers. I didn't want to sew. I felt tired. Just didn't want to socialise with people. I started to get really angry with the doctors because it felt like nobody was listening to me, you know, and they eventually found out I was celiac. And by the time they found that out, I had malnutrition. I was under 7 stone in weight. So I just generally was a very poorly person. But suddenly, stopping eating gluten and wheat, within a couple of weeks I started to feel better. I was sleeping properly, because again, with that illness you don't sleep, none of your body feels calm. And I started to sleep, I started to be more friendly to my family, and then suddenly my mother died 3 weeks after me being diagnosed with celiac. So it wasn't really long enough for me to have healed from being ill. I was still a lot underweight, I was still very depressed, so it hit me very, very hard. You know, it took a year since she's died for me to really not wake up in the morning crying. It affected me really badly, but you know, I think it must be about 18 months on, my business is doing so well. I've come right out the other side because I had a good business base to start with. That period of time where it's been quite hard, I've got customers that have come back to me over and over again. They've been understanding. That was another thing. Teaching in a class of ladies and then suddenly breaking down crying, because you weren't thinking deliberately of your mum, but something would happen, somebody would do or say something, and it would just make you think of her. But people were so kind. Somebody would nip into the kitchen and make a cup of tea, and you know, somebody else might rub your shoulder. And people, we all hear about how people are not understanding, don't help, but they really do. I think it's people that got me through it. I didn't go on any pills. I didn't go to any doctor for depression. Not that I wouldn't if I felt the need, but I was lucky to have people around me that, through the scruff of my neck, they dragged me through it with kindness and love and support. And you know, now I feel so well-rounded. I feel a stronger person than I ever was before, actually. And I know my mum's there sort of guiding, and even, you know, I think, like I said before, her life's input into our life has helped us all move forward. You know, when we all get together as a family, we do still, you know, get a bit sad here and there, but we try and make every occasion, family occasion, a happy one, because we know she wouldn't want us being sad. And I think really that's all you can do in life. Try and always look on the more positive things. For me, try and pick out every day something bad happens to us. We can go home and we can focus on that bad thing, or we can go home and look at the 90 wonderful things and nice things that have happened to us in that day. They may be only tiny, but that's what gets me through, focusing on them things. So
you've had a really supportive network by the sound of it. I'm just wondering what words of advice you'd give to people who maybe haven't had that level of support.
I think in life everybody has support from somewhere. It may have been an old school teacher, it may have been a neighbour. we may find ourselves in lonely situations sometimes, and I have been in lonely situations sometimes where I've cut myself off a bit because of different things. And I think what I've done in the past is I still focus on something good, you know, a particular teacher, a particular thing. Somebody in a shop might have said to me, "Oh, your hair looks nice. Oh, where did you buy that? Oh, your perfume smells nice." So I go home and I think, you know, that nice thing, because I do it deliberately myself. I don't just walk past people. If I see somebody and it's easy to talk to them, I always pass the time of day, even if it's all this rain or lovely day today, or what's your dog's name?
So it's kind of keeping the connection with people rather than isolating yourself.
Yes, it's passing it on. And if you can join a group, the WI, a gardening group, any sort of little group that might be a litter picking group. A few years ago I found myself in a situation where I cut myself off from everybody. I was in a depressive state. It was because of something completely different. I didn't involve my family. And I suddenly found I hadn't been visiting anybody, and I just didn't want to. I couldn't face people. And I actually started getting right into the environment. And I went on litter picking things with complete strangers, and it was really good fun. And everybody supports each other, so there is always support out there. You've just got to learn and be brave enough to reach out for it. I think that's the thing.